2008's The Dark Knight does so much right. Fantastic cinematography, an epic score, over-the-top Shakespearean dialogue, and, well, I'll just stop there. The point is, it's a great film. So great that Christopher Nolan's trilogy is named after it.
Nice.
This is rare and almost unheard of for a second film. But for now, I just want to focus on a particular character who I believe is the true heart of the film. And no, I'm not talking about the Caped Crusader.
I only have one question. Where is Harvey Dent?
I'm of course talking about the Joker.
I know why they call him the Joker.
I heard he wears makeup. Makeup? Yeah, to scare people. You know, war paint.
What do you believe in, huh? What do you believe in?
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you.
This is going to be my first video in a new series I'm making, Analyzing Evil, where I'll give you my thoughts and breakdown of villains throughout movies and TV series. Portrayed brilliantly by the late Heath Ledger, the Joker is a complex character whose motivations don't appear to be clear, at least not on the surface. Unlike other villains in Nolan's Batverse, who are driven by revenge or lust for power, the Joker seems to thrive on anarchy, and his unpredictable actions and unhinged outbursts would make it easy to believe that he's like a dog off leash.
You motherfucker!
But is this really the case? Let's take a closer look at who he is to figure that out.
No matches on prints, DNA, dental, clothing is custom, no labels. Nothing in his pockets but knives and lint.
There's probably no better starting point to understanding the Dark Knight's Joker than with his scars. Every time he talks about them, he's got a different story of how he got them, and honestly I wouldn't be surprised if he claimed he got them from a really aggressive paper cut.
Ouch!
Or that he fell face first into, I don't know, a pile of rusty razor blades. Who knows? The only thing that is consistent about those scars is that they're as mysterious as his dry cleaning bills. But on a serious note, it is this ambiguity about his background that makes him such an interesting villain. And this kind of story choice with the less is more approach can easily elevate a movie or TV show. Not having concrete answers for characters, movie endings, or even entire films in general is one of the reasons that John Carpenter's 1982 cult classic, The Thing, is my favorite horror movie of all time. Grotesquely dope practical effects aside, Carpenter does an excellent job throughout the film of building paranoia as a group of researchers in one of the most desolate places on Earth, Antarctica, try to survive a creature that absorbs and mimics its victims.
My God, what was happening to him?
If it had more time to finish, it would have looked and sounded and acted just like Benny's.
I don't know what you're saying.
There was one of those things out there trying to imitate him, Gary.
We don't know for certain who the Thing is by the time the credits roll. This ambiguous concept is especially true for Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, which, depending on who you ask, and when it was watched, has numerous interpretations.
Fascinating, but staying with the topic at hand.
We made it.
Now let's say we wanted to know exactly how he got his scars. One is that he had an abusive childhood, which he did allude to when mentioning his father briefly.
My father was a drinker and a fiend.
Such trauma growing up could have molded him into who we see in the film. Another option, he was a failed comedian who just, snapped one day. Maybe his scars are somehow the consequence of a darkly ironic and batshit crazy stand-up routine gone awry. There's also a lot of speculation that the Joker got his scars as a result of military experience. This theory suggests he was left mentally and physically scarred due to the realities of war. After returning home, maybe he was discharged and felt like he was disposed of or cast aside. This would explain his underlying hatred for societal structures and how he appears to have endurance and weapons training. Lastly, there's a theory that the Joker was tortured by a criminal gang or individual, and this kind of ties in with his story about his wife, even if it's a little bit different than how he tells it. It kind of makes sense given how he shows a clear disdain for organized crime throughout the film. Out of all these theories, one of them could be true, all of them, or none at all. Regardless of his background, the scars serve as a visual metaphor for the fractured psyche beneath his clownish exterior. Now, if we take an objective look, we'll notice that he has an oddly calm demeanor during high-stress moments. This, along with his constantly changing story, and I think it's fair to say that the Joker is definitely smarter than he lets on. He might take a slightly different path going towards the same direction at times, especially when he has to improvise, but for the most part, everything he does is probably mapped out and carefully orchestrated behind the scenes. It's obvious he's a fucking lunatic with a troubled past who wants to upend the status quo, but a master strategist nonetheless. And it really doesn't take much to infer that this is true. Look no further than his systemic infiltration and near takeover of the mob.
Tell your men they work for me now. This is my city.
Even though the Joker holds all the cards near the end of the movie, pun intended, it has little meaning to him. Power means nothing to him, and he's definitely not driven by money, as he's even seen burning the mob's cash. So any attempt to buy his loyalty would go down about as well as traveling to the bottom of the ocean in a billionaire's tin can.
Does it actually work?
Watch this. It fills up with water, so it's very good at going down, but not so good at coming back up.
Also, noting the elimination of powerful political figures throughout the city, some of whom may or may not have been corrupt, I think he wants a baseline of chaos for everyone, where, I don't know, there's not a single person or group that has majority leverage. Now, in this sense, this downfall of important members throughout Gotham is basically a means to an end for him. But with that being said, the Joker definitely comes off as narcissistic, and, he loves to see how others are going to react to his antics while he aims to make a statement. He doesn't care about any lives that are ruined along the way either, as long as he gets to make his point. One of the most memorable scenes involves the Joker's social experiment with two fairies rigged with explosives. This sequence explores the depths of human morality. He tests people's willingness to sacrifice others for their own survival, illustrating his belief that society is a thin veneer, easily shattered by the right amount of pressure. Now let's discuss his relationship with the Caped Crusader. Batman and Joker are like the yin and yang of Gotham City. One dresses up as a bat, the other as a clown. They complete each other like a dysfunctional marriage. On a deeper level, Joker views Batman as a paradoxical figure, a man bound by moral code in a world inherently devoid of one. Their conflict transcends physicality, delving into a battle of ideologies. The Joker aims to break Batman's spirit, challenging his unwavering commitment to justice and order. Take the interrogation scene, for example. With all of Batman's tactics and strength, the Joker is unfazed, and he revels in the possibility that he might get Batman to break his own rules and toss morals out the window. And to some degree, he succeeds. And even after the Joker is defeated and caught by Batman in their final confrontation, the Joker laughs. He laughs because he knows his reverse Uno card has already been played. In the end, the Joker isn't just a villain. His influence has forever shaped the course of Gotham City. Even with little screen time, he's a force that permeates every frame of The Dark Knight. His presence infects the narrative, injecting an unsettling energy that keeps us in the audience on edge. Because of this, the film becomes somewhat of a psychological thriller as the Joker manipulates events, leaving an indelible mark on every character he encounters. And honestly, he's a reflection of our own chaotic tendencies, and a guy with razor-sharp wit and even sharper scars, and the villain that reminds us that sometimes life's just one big, dark, twisted joke, and we're all just waiting for the punchline. Thanks for watching this first episode of Analyzing Evil. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.